Today we're going to take a look at Serena Williams' recent doubles match that she played in Eastbourne with Ons Jabeur. Marianne reached out and requested that I break down a few of these points from this match. So thanks, Marianne, for the idea. And what I'm going to do is walk through a few points from the match and show you what Serena does right, what I would like to see differently from her and some of the other players on the court. And hopefully you can take some of these lessons and apply them to your own doubles game. So this first point, Serena's serving, Ons Jabeur's at the net, and they are in the deuce court. So I'll play the point and then we will kind of go back and break this point down a bit. Okay, so you can see, if we rewind it here. Okay, so you can see she starts with a wide serve. It looks like she made a first serve here, and this is a really great wide serve. You can see the opponent is totally on the full stretch and actually hits a pretty good return on this. And something I want you to take away here is notice where this return goes. A lot of coaches will teach you when your partner serves wide to follow the ball into the doubles alley if you're the net player. And Jabeur kind of does that here. But I don't think that's a good tactic for the most part. I would say if your partner's serving wide, it's more important for you to pinch the middle and cut off this return. And if you get beat several times down the line, then you can make an adjustment. But what's more likely to happen is for you to get an easy volley right up close to the net, and in the deuce court, it's a forehand volley, which is great. Or if they do go down the line, maybe they'll make one, but then they'll miss two, then make one, miss two, and so on, which is totally fine. So notice where this ball crosses the net. It's a pretty high return that Jabeur, if she had just pinched just a little bit, she would have had an easy put away forehand volley right there at the net. Instead, she does not do that. She kind of leans left and starts to cover the line. And Serena doesn't panic here. She just has a solid forehand ground stroke. You can see the opponent is way outside the court here. And Serena might be tempted to try to blast one through the middle for a winner or something like that. But in doubles, we really don't want to be trying to hit winners from the baseline. That's a bad strategy that's going to create a lot of errors on your part. So just continue to apply the pressure is what we should be doing, and Serena does a great job of that here. So she hits a solid cross-court forehand. The opponent's starting to recover still on defense. And the other thing to consider here is, and Serena's probably thought of this, is think about your cross-court matchup. So if you feel like you can out-rally the opponent, then there's no reason to try to redirect a ball down the line or to go for too much. Instead, you can just stay calm, stay in the cross-court rally, knowing that you're better from the baseline than your opponent. And in this case, Serena probably feels like she has the better ground strokes, especially on this forehand side. And you can see maybe the opponent here feels like she does not have the better ground strokes, so she does try to redirect the ball down the line here. Does give Ons Jabeur a kind of awkward backhand volley that's pretty high that a lot of players do struggle to put away. She hits it cross court, kind of going for that gap. Buzkova at the net has a pretty good reaction. And you can see Serena does a good job of stepping in here. She has a short forehand. And again, doesn't panic, doesn't try to slam it, crush the ball down the line for a passing shot. She just knows that they're ahead in the point. She continues to apply the pressure, hits a solid cross-court forehand, and comes into the net. Again, same with this volley. She's hitting it from just inside the service line. I see a lot of players try to redirect this down the line at the net player, and when you hit that shot, it does work. But a lot of players miss it. You might miss it in the net, or you might sail it long or something like that. So instead, just hit the easy cross-court volley, knowing, again, you're ahead in the point, you're continuing to apply the pressure. She hits a good forehand volley. The opponent has to run forward and tries to redirect the ball down the line, but on the grass it stays so low that she has to kind of lift it over the high part of the net and isn't able to get that ball to dip back down into the court. So really good job in this point of Serena just playing the high percentage cross-court shots, continuing to apply pressure and getting forward when she can, and forcing that error. So this next point is a pretty short point. Buzkova is serving to Jabeur, and you can see Serena up there at the net. So I'll play the point and then I'll explain. It seems obvious, but I'll explain what Serena did here that you can take away for your own game. So you can see really just a 3-ball rally there, pretty short. But what I want you to watch, this is a good first serve. And it's got Jabeur kind of on the full stretch to the forehand side. But watch Serena where she's moving. So she's going into her split step right now. And she sees that Buzkova is lining up for a backhand. And she's moving to her left. So she started in the center of the service box. And you can see that split step is on the left side of that service box. So if she split stepped in the middle of the service box, there's no way she could have gotten to this ball. But she had her momentum shifting to her left. And I think the reason she did that is because she saw Buzkova lining up for a slice backhand rather than a normal two-handed backhand where she comes over the ball. And Serena knows anytime you see somebody lining up for that slice backhand, it's going to be a lot slower ball, and it's a great opportunity to poach. So because that subtle adjustment of shifting a little bit to her left on that split step, that allowed her to get all the way over to this ball and execute the poach off of Jabeur's return. So when you're out there and you are at the net and your partner's returning, notice how good the return is that they hit. If they hit the ball really deep in the court, you should be pinching. If you see the opponent going to their weaker side or turning to, in most cases, their backhand side, that's a great time to pinch as well. And that way, as soon as you see that it's a weak shot on that serve +1, you can poach and cut off that ball just like Serena did here. So this next point, Serena uses a lot of variety to set up Jabeur at the net here. So you can see we're already into the second set. They did lose the first set. They end up coming back and winning this match 13-11, I believe, in the third set tiebreaker. But in this point I'm about to show you, notice the variety with which Serena plays on the deuce side. She's serving here. So you could see she hit a pretty good body serve into the opponent's backhand side. She runs around it, hits a forehand here, and it's a pretty good return kind of through the middle of the court. And it gives Serena a backhand, which in most cases at the club level, this is going to be a very difficult shot for Serena. Obviously, it's no issue. But what I like here is Serena, and if you've noticed in all these points, you might rewind and watch Buzkova at the net here. She never really goes to the right half of the service box. I guess she's really scared to get beat down the line by Serena, but you can see she's in the left half of the service box here. So Serena probably knows that Buzkova hasn't poached at all, so she continues to keep the ball cross court here. This backhand she plays high over the net with really good depth. So you can see it lands pretty deep in the court. As soon as she knows that, she kind of starts to step forward. So you can see she's at or just behind the baseline here. And this next ball lands just behind the service line. Serena has a forehand. She knows she just went high over the net, hit a little bit of a heavier ball deep in the court, and now she's going to try to win the point with a little pace since she has a forehand. So she has plenty of time to set up for this ball because the previous shot was pretty deep in the court, so the opponent was hitting it from pretty far back. So she has plenty of time to set up on this forehand, and she hits it with a lot of pace through the court. It doesn't land quite as deep, but she's going for pace here, so she wants to play high percentage and aim for the middle of the court. She hits a great forehand, and Jabeur, I would imagine she's just listening for the ball to come off of Serena's strings, and as soon as she heard that pop off that forehand side and saw the pace with which that forehand was coming, she knew she was going to poach on this ball. Anytime that your opponent has plenty of time to set up for a really strong forehand, and they do have a really good forehand for your level, which at this level, Serena's forehand is pretty good, you should know that should be a green light, and you should really be leaning towards the middle, ready to poach, because that is going to be a very difficult ball for the opponent to redirect down the line. So Jabeur does that here. Serena sets her up at the net. She has her forehand volley in the middle, which is high percentage, and she just puts it at Bouzkova's feet to end the point. So in all of these points, a couple of key takeaways from Serena. She does a really good job of playing high percentage tennis from the baseline. She uses good variety. And then the net movement. You want to be really focused on knowing what sort of shot is your partner about to hit, and are you ahead in the point so that you can kind of lean towards the middle, look for a ball to poach on, or force that opponent to hit a low percentage down the line shot. So if you have any questions on any of this, leave a comment below, and be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel as well so that you don't miss any future videos, and I will talk to you in the next one. If you want to become a smarter doubles player and start winning more matches, then join the Tennis Tribe Doubles Strategy newsletter. Every single Thursday, I'll send you a new doubles tip or tactic that you can use in your very next match. And when you join, you're going to get a free guide on how to play with more confidence and start dominating at the net in doubles. My name's Will. I'm the founder of the Tennis Tribe, and over the last 5 years, I've worked with players at every level of the game, from USTA 3.0 players all the way to Division I college programs, as well as some of the top 10 doubles players in the world. And on Thursdays, with this strategy newsletter, I share that knowledge and advice that I've gained over the years with you. So to sign up, you can go to thetennistribe.com. And again, you'll get that free net play guide when you join.